Here we go. Okay, so good morning, happy Friday. Today's focus is neck and shoulder tension. That's basically what I'm planning for today. So we've got a lot of focus around trying to relieve points of tension and discomfort here. So as always, let's go ahead and find a comfortable seat. Remembering that that can take a lot of different forms in your body. Let's just take a moment to get settled. And then once you've found that comfortable seat, allow your eyes to come to a half gaze or to close completely. And begin to cultivate some nice deep belly breaths. And then let's begin to feel movement going along with our deep breaths. So on your next inhale, roll your spine out nice and long, sit tall on the mat. And exhale to soften, melting your shoulders, rounding. And then inhaling, feeling that lifting, rising, lengthening energy again. And exhaling to soften. And we'll just feel this a few times. On your next inhale, sweep your right arm across in front of you, up and over, and exhale that right arm down. And then inhale, sweep the left arm across, up and over, and exhale down. Inhaling right, and left. And then simply follow this pattern on your breath, beginning to introduce some space into the shoulders. Now, as you breathe, as you move, feel empowered to begin making changes here. So if you notice that it would feel really good, maybe to linger in one particular part of that stretch or to add on in any way, feel empowered to do so, to begin changing this movement pattern to help wherever you need to release tension. And then as you are ready, gently make your way back to seated, coming to stillness. Bring your hands to heart center and close your eyes. Let's set an intention for our practice today. The dark of the moon just passed, which means we're at the beginning of another lunar cycle. So maybe it's a good time to draw things in. And then once that intention is set, simply release your hands down to the mat. Sweep your feet around behind you. Let's make our way into tabletop. So for tabletop, wrists come beneath the shoulders, knees come under the hips. On your inhale, roll your heart open and tip your tailbone to the sky. Then exhale, coil your belly in and drop the crown of your head. Inhaling, rolling open. And exhaling to coil. Now, as always, in our cat-cow space, if this feels amazing, you stay right here in cat-cow flow. You are also welcome to find free-form movement here. So if it would be helpful to make circular movements with your hips or your rib cage, or if it would feel good to shift from side to side or forward and back, all of those things, all of those expressions can go here. And then find your way back to a neutral spine in tabletop. Draw your knees a little closer together under your hips so they're centered so you feel very stable. On your next inhale, extend your right leg long behind you and lower your toe down to the mat. Now from here, press into your right heel to begin stretching out that right calf. Now, as always in our calf stretch, you're welcome to sustain the stretch, to just hold still. You can also find a slow flow, a rolling motion into and out of the stretch. Now remember, that's not a bounce, right? It's a slow motion. And then lower your right knee down to join your left. On your next inhale, extend your left leg long behind you, lower your toe, and begin to press into that left heel. So same thing on this side. You can do the static, stationary stretch, or you can find that slow rolling motion. And then lower your left knee down to join your right. Now from here, let's make our way into forward fold. So you can walk your hands back to stand. You can also step your feet forward, whatever works best in your body. Once you've found that forward fold, just surrender, relax, allow your spine to be nice and long. If movement would feel good here, you can feel movement. Knees can be bent. We're still just warming up. Let's make this one nice and easy. Remember to relax your head and neck. Try to let the crown of your head dangle. We tend to unconsciously try to hold our heads up, even when we're inverted like this. And then if you are in motion, come to stillness. Bend both knees. Exhale, roll your way all the way up to standing. Inhale to rise and open. Sweep your fingertips to the sky. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Release your hands down by your sides. And if you're not already there, make your way toward the top of your mat to set up our first mountain pose of class. Now, we always want that first mountain pose to be very conscious. So think about how you're placing your feet on the mat. Look down. You want them parallel directly beneath those bony protrusions of your hips. We want the feet to be evenly planted. Sometimes it's nice to lift your toes and spread them out and then set them down again. And once you feel really rooted, then begin to draw energy up. So we draw our navel in, tailbone lengthens, shoulders roll back and down, palms face forward. On your next inhale, sweep your fingertips to the sky. Exhale, pour forward over your legs, bowing. Bend both knees enough that your hands can find either a set of blocks or the mat. On your inhale, step your right foot back to lunge and lower your right knee down. Now, checking with your lunge here, we want to make sure that that left knee is directly over the left ankle. So if you find that your foot's back, just grab that ankle and move it forward. Frame your left shin with your forearms. So even if your hands are on blocks, that's the alignment. Inhale to look forward. Exhale, shift back, starting to let that left leg straighten out. Your toes might rise a little bit, and we're going to feel a stretch along the back of the left leg. Inhale forward to lunge. Melt your right hip toward the mat. And then exhale, shifting back. Inhaling forward. And exhaling back. And just follow your breath right here, gently loosening up, creating space in our lower bodies. Let your next inhale bring you forward to lunge. From here, find tabletop. So once again, wrists come beneath the shoulders, knees come under the hips, and let's find a little movement here. So yogi's choice here, that can be cat-cow. It can also be free-form spinal movement, whatever feels better in your body today. And then come to your neutral spine. From here, walk your hands forward. In my body, it's about a handspan's length. Then shift your shoulders forward over your wrists. So what we're setting up here is our half plank. So knees, hips, and shoulders are in one long line. Press the earth away. We want to feel space between the shoulder blades here, right? We're not collapsing. We want to stay buoyant. On your next exhale, bend your elbows and lower your half plank down to the mat. One long line, slow and controlled. Once you touch down, walk your toes back, bring your fingertips wide, roll one shoulder and then the other, creating space. Return your hands to beneath your shoulders and press back. Tabletop, or if you have one in your practice, you're welcome to press back to downward facing dog here. Now, wherever you have landed, find movement. So if you're in tabletop, that's cat-cow or freeform spinal movement. If you're in down dog with me, you're walking out your dog, bending one knee and the other, finding ease. Come to stillness. On your inhale, look forward. Exhale to step your right foot forward between your hands. If your back knee is lowered, if your back knee is lifted, go ahead and lower it down to the mat. So we want to check our lunge on this side as well. Again, making sure that the right knee is directly over the right ankle. And if you notice that your foot is back, just grab it and move it forward. Multi-step movements are always fine in yoga. Inhale to look forward. Exhale, shift back. So the hips lead the way, right leg starts to straighten out. Inhale forward to lunge, melt your left hip. And exhale, shifting back. Inhaling forward. And again, just follow your breath right here. Let your next inhale bring you all the way forward to lunge. Turn your left toes under to lift your back knee. Look forward and step together. Fold, soften over your legs, find some ease. Gently rock from side to side. And then if you are in motion, come to stillness. Bend both knees, exhale, roll your way all the way up to standing. Inhale, rise and open. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Check back in with your mountain pose. If you moved, no big thing, but reposition, right? So we find our feet again, and then we find that rising energy, that strong core, that lifted heart. On your next inhale, sweep your fingertips to the sky. Exhale to fold forward. Now this time on your inhale, halfway rise. We're going to bring our hands to our shins or our thighs. Roll your shoulders back and down. So lots of length between the ears and the shoulders. Press your tailbone away. We want to feel a flat back here, and we want the legs to be as straight as possible. So continuing to breathe long and slow and smooth. Maybe we walk those fingertips down a little bit. And of course, remember, if you're not feeling that stretch, all you need to do is walk your fingertips further down your legs while keeping them and your back nice and flat. And then on this next exhale, let's bend our knees. Fingertips come all the way down to the mat or to a set of blocks. On your inhale, step your left foot back to lunge and lower that left knee down. So this time we're going to take this lunge a little bit deeper. On your inhale, look forward. Exhale, as you shift back, walk your hands back this time. Really get that nice deep stretch in the back of the right leg. Inhaling, walking forward. And exhaling, walking back. And even if you're using blocks, you can just move the blocks here. Let your next inhale bring you all the way forward to lunge, tabletop. From here, walk your hands forward, shift your shoulders over your wrists. So again, moving toward half plank, we want knees, hips, and shoulders in one long line. Also, if you're feeling ambitious today, you are welcome to turn your toes under and lift your knees for full plank here. Again, press the earth away, plenty of buoyancy in the shoulders. On your exhale, bend your elbows and float your way down, nice and even. Once you've touched down, walk your toes back, create space, and then bring your fingertips wide. Creative Cobra, these big, beautiful shoulder circles. And return your hands to beneath your shoulders. Press it back, tabletop or downward facing dog. Take a pause for movement wherever you happen to be. Cat, cow, freeform spinal movement, walking out your dog. All of these are the correct place to be. And then come to stillness. Inhale to look forward. Exhale to step your left foot forward between your hands. If your back knee's lifted, lower it down. And let's set up for that deeper flowing lunge. So check in, make sure the left knee is directly over the left ankle first. Inhale to look forward. Exhale, walk your hands back, left toes rise, deep stretch to the back of that left leg. Inhaling forward to lunge. And exhaling back. Let your next inhale bring you all the way forward to lunge. Turn your right toes under to lift your back knee. Look forward and step together and fold, soften. Again, a little movement here if that would feel good. You can always rock from side to side. Remember to relax your head, your neck, your jaw. And then come to stillness. Bend both knees. Exhale, roll your way up to standing. Inhale, rise and open. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Check back in with your mountain pose. Reposition if you need to. Again, engage your core, drawing that navel in, feeling tall. On your next inhale, rise and open. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, halfway rise, rolling the shoulders back and down. The back is flat here, legs are straight or as straight as we can get them. And to make that stretch more potent, we just walk our fingertips down our legs. Remember, we keep breathing nice and deeply, especially when things get challenging. We counter that with the breath. And then on your next exhale, bend both knees, fingertips come down to the mat. Inhale to step your right foot back to lunge. Lower your right knee down to the mat. So let's add a little twist here. Plant your right hand at the center of the mat. And that can be flat to the mat, or you can grab a block and place your hand on the block if the earth feels a little further away today than it should be. Root that right hand, and then on your inhale, we're going to peel that left arm open, reaching toward the sky. Exhaling, lowering that left hand down, maybe curling it under the left thigh. Inhaling, turning from the core all the way up, and exhaling to lower. On your next exhale, both hands come down to the mat. We space them evenly. Tabletop. Again, shoulders over wrists, knees over the hips. Walk your hands, one handspan forward. Find your half plank. So knees, hips, and shoulders in one long line. If you're feeling ambitious, turn your toes under to lift your knees. Nice and slow, we float down to the mat. Walk your toes back, create space. Let's do traditional Cobra this time. So we're going to tuck our fingers underneath our shoulders. On your inhale, roll your shoulders all the way forward, up, back, and down. Squeeze them together. And exhaling down to the mat. 2 more times. And press it back. Tabletop or downward facing dog, yogi's choice. Come into stillness. Inhale to look forward. Exhale to step your right foot forward between your hands. If your back knee's lifted, go ahead and lower it down. And let's set up that twisting flow on this side. So we make sure the right knee is over the right ankle, then we plant that left hand in the middle of the mat, either flat to the mat or onto a yoga block. Inhale, peel your right arm open, reaching skyward. Exhaling, lowering that right arm down, curling under the right thigh. And then inhaling, peeling open. Exhaling to soften. One thing to think about as that right arm reaches high is to draw your shoulder blades toward each other. This gives us just a little bit more rotation. And on this next exhale, both hands come down to the mat, space evenly. Turn your left toes under and lift your back knee. Inhale to look forward and exhale to step together and fold, soften. Let it go. Amber, are you okay? Find ease. Hi. And then if you are in motion, come to stillness, bend both knees, exhale, roll your way up. Inhale, rise and open. Exhale, hands come to heart center. All right, last time through our opening salutation, reset your mountain pose, rooting your feet, strong core, open heart. On your inhale, rise and open. Exhale to fold. Inhale, halfway rise, rolling the shoulders back and down, legs are straight. Now this time we're going to change things a little. We're going to walk our hands over to the left side, lengthening the heart away from that right hip. You go gently here. This will be a deep stretch on that lower right side of the back. All right, let's come back through center and feel that on the other side. Hands come to that right leg. That heart reaches away from the left hip. Nice deep stretch. I'm sorry, I don't know what is with my cat today, but there's apparently going to be a lot of meowing in the background. And then come back to center. Soften, bend your knees, plant your fingertips. Inhale to step your left foot back to lunge. Lower that left knee down. Now this time we're going to walk our hands up the right knee. Notice if this feels unstable. If it does, you can always grab a block and place it by your left hip. That way you've got somewhere easy and safe to touch down if your balance goes a little wonky during practice. So from here, on your inhale, sweep your fingertips forward and up. Exhale, open out to either side, bending the elbows, stretching across the chest. Inhale, open. And exhale. Inhale. On this next exhale, both hands come down to the mat. Tabletop. Walk your hands forward, finding your way into half plank. Again, if you're feeling ambitious, full plank is an option here as well. Draw your core in. Nice long spine, press the earth away. Exhale, floating down. And then walk your toes back once you touch down. Creative Cobra, bring your fingertips wide. Big, beautiful full circles with the shoulders. We're a little warmer now, so if you want to press up a little bit, feel free to do so. You should have the flexibility to do that at this point. And then return your hands to beneath your shoulders. Press back. Tabletop or downward facing dog. Taking a moment to stabilize, to come to stillness. Inhale to look forward. Exhale to step your left foot forward between your hands. Lower your right knee if it's lifted. Check in, make sure that left knee is directly over the left ankle, then walk your hands up your left knee. And again, if you notice that this is unstable, just grab a block and place it by your right hip. So let's find that heart opening pose. Inhale, sweep your fingertips forward and up. Exhaling, opening out. Inhale. And on this next exhale, both hands come down to the mat. Turn your right toes under, look forward, and step together. Fold. Take a full lunar pause right here. Nice and easy. Breathing. Finding motion if that would feel good. Remember, relax your head, relax your neck. Try to let the muscles of your shoulders melt. And then come to stillness. Bend both knees, exhale, roll your way up. Inhale, rise and open. Exhale, hands to heart center. Release your hands down by your sides. From here, we're going to find our way back down to the mat to a seated position. Now, we're going to do a neck and shoulder sort of loosening sequence where we'll be seated for a little while. So just note what will be most comfortable for your body to sit for a couple of minutes. So if you need to sit on a pillow or on a yoga block to raise your tailbone or have one leg out or both, all of that is fine. So once you've come to stillness, we'll start with neck rolls. Drop your chin to your chest. We're going to roll our heads all the way over to the right side. Come back through center and all the way over to the other. And back through center. So imagine it as tracing like a big smile across the front of your body. Now, as you roll your head from side to side, notice if there are particular points where it would feel really good to linger. And then you can always pause there and kind of marinate in that stretch for a moment. Now, the next time you roll your head all the way over to the right, we're going to sustain. So from here, turn your face out so that your right ear is directly over your right shoulder. Now, you might already be feeling plenty of stretch in the left side of your neck. If that's the case, you stay exactly as you are. If you'd like to deepen your stretch here, roll your left shoulder back and down and walk your fingertips away. Now, one fun thing with this stretch, depending upon the angle your left arm is at, that's going to change a little bit of how this stretch feels. So feel free to experiment a little bit here to find like the optimum position for that arm to get the most relief in your trapezius. And release. Roll your head back through center. Let's come over to the other side. So left ear over the left shoulder. Again, face is facing out, so toward me. And again, stay right here. If this is plenty of stretch, don't change a thing. If you would like to intensify the stretch, roll your right shoulder back and down, walk those fingertips away. And same thing here, right? Notice what feels best, what angle works for you. Also, if you have observed that you are tighter on one side than the other, congratulations, you are a human being. We are asymmetrical by nature. So we are generally a little tenser on one side than we are on the other. And release. Coming back through center, let's draw our chins back up to chest. There we go, nice and parallel with the earth. So we're going to focus on the back of the neck now. So what I'd like you to do is turn your head all the way over to the right side and then drop your chin to your chest on that side. And again, maybe, depending on your tension, you're already feeling plenty of stretch on the back left side of the neck. If so, stay here. If not, sweep your left arm out to the side and then tuck your left hand behind you, resting it on the small of your back. Roll your left shoulder back and down and press into your back with your hand. You'll feel that stretch intensify quite a bit. Remember that if it gets to be too much, all you need to do is release the tension in your left arm. And as always, we keep nice, slow, steady breathing here. And release, relaxing the left arm, drawing the chin back up, parallel with the earth, passing through center and over to that left side. Same thing. Drop your chin to your chest. And again, evaluate, right? Maybe this is the perfect amount of stretch. Maybe you stay right here. Maybe you sweep your right arm out to the side and then behind you, resting your hand on the small of your back. Then roll your right shoulder back and down and press into your back with your hand. Again, remembering that if it gets to be too much, just relax the tension in your right arm. I swear I could spend like a half an hour like this today. And release. Relax that right arm, lift your chin, come back through center. All right, let's find some nice big shoulder rolls. Roll your shoulders all the way forward, all the way up, squeeze them together at the back, all the way down. So full range of motion here. Even if it means that your torso does some kind of ridiculous stuff, that's totally fine. We're finding those huge circles, right? Fullest range of motion. Okay, then we're going to roll the other direction. So roll all the way forward, down, up, and back, squeezing together. Notice what's different when we move in the other direction, right? All right, coming back to stillness at the center. Scrunch your shoulders up to your ears. Squeeze, 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 squeeze. Exhale, roll them back and down as low as they'll go. And notice how much space you now have between your ears and your shoulders, right? We're all at least 1.5 inches taller at this point. So from here, find your way into tabletop. We're going to keep working on tension in our shoulders. So for this tabletop, we want to feel even, right? Knees beneath the hips, wrists beneath the shoulders. Lift your right arm and dive it all the way under your left arm. Come down to your right shoulder. Rest your head on the mat. So again, evaluating how your body's feeling, this might be plenty, right? You might already feel plenty of stretch along the back right side of your back. If not, you can take your left hand and press it into the mat to get a deeper stretch, which is one of the things I love to do. And just breathe. And let's find our way back to center. Coming to tabletop, planting those hands. Let's feel that on the other side. Left arm dives underneath. Come down to that left shoulder. Rest your head on the mat. So again, yogi's choice here. Stay exactly as you are, or press into your right hand to begin to stretch the back of that left shoulder open a little bit more. And then find your way back. Coming to tabletop once more. Walk your hands back, and in whatever way suits your practice, make your way up to standing. Let me adjust my camera. Also, I hope everything looks okay. This is a brand new laptop, so I haven't used it for yoga before. You'll have to let me know afterwards if everything looks all right. So find a comfortable stance right here. I just learned a really great shoulder stretch that I'd like to share with you today. It's called elephant ears. So what we're going to do, and I'll come forward so that you can see this, we're going to bring our thumbs to the points of the jaw, right? So we find this spot first, and then fingertips come to the temples. And what's important with hand position here is that it be in front of the ears, right? So we're not back, we're forward. So once we've got those contact points, what we're going to do is open our arms out to the sides. Now, draw your navel in a little bit to protect your lower back here. And then from here, we'll draw slowly our elbows towards each other. Maybe they touch, maybe they don't. Inhaling, opening back and out. And we're going to open as wide as we can. So maybe feeling those shoulder blades draw together at the back. Exhaling, the points of the elbows come together. Inhaling, open. Now in my body, this feels amazing, right? I can really feel it along my spine, along the back of my neck. So I'm hopeful that it will feel good for you too. And one last one, coming to center. And then opening all the way out and as far back as we can. And release. Hands come down, wiggle it out a little bit. Let's do a fascia stretch since we're right here. So we're going to lift that right hand and turn the palm to face away. Press into the heel of your hand, feeling that weird tingling sort of sensation. Start in the right arm. Notice if it would feel best to stay exactly as you are, or if it would feel good to track that right hand behind you. Lovely. Coming back to center, we'll release that right arm, wiggle it out a little because it feels very strange. Do the same thing on the left. Lift your left hand, turn your palm to face away, press into the heel of your hand. Again, notice if it would feel best to sustain as you are, or maybe to track that arm behind you. And then find your way back, releasing it out, letting it go. Beautiful. So from here, interlace your fingers, turn your palms to face away, and then press your hands to the sky. Stretch it out a little bit, one side and then the other. Coming to stillness at the center, turn your palms to face you. Lower your hands to heart level. We're going to press those hands away. Drop your chin toward your chest and really get a nice rounding in your upper back. And release. Lovely. Let's set up our warrior sequence for today. We're going to step that right foot forward and left foot back, bending the right knee. So we're setting up for warrior one, which means our hips and hearts are facing the front of the mat. You can turn your left foot until it feels comfortable. This angle is a little different for everybody. I think the yoga textbooks say 45 degrees, but really it's what feels right so that you're not putting tension on your calf. Once you're stable here, inhale, sweep your fingertips to the sky. Exhaling, sweeping them behind you. Inhaling, lifting. Exhaling, this time we're going to come to halfway. We're going to bring the right arm over, left arm under. Find your shoulders first. Lower your elbows to their lowest point. Lower your shoulders to their lowest point. On your inhale, lift the tips of your elbows. Exhaling to lower. Right, so we're moving toward eagle right here in warrior one. If all is well, you can bring your arms together. So the backs of the arms come together. Maybe you find your hand, and then we find the same motion. Inhaling to lift, exhaling to lower. Depending on how your body is feeling today, maybe you stay in this flow, maybe we add even more movement with that leg. So when we inhale, we lift the elbows, right leg straightens, exhaling, sinking down, warrior one. Inhaling to lift. And exhale, full body vinyasa. Last time on this exhale, we lower our arms down, wiggle it out a little bit, straighten your left foot or your left leg. Now straighten your right leg. Turn your left foot in so that we now have our feet parallel. We're setting up for pyramid pose here, right? So legs are straight, feet are touching down, feet are parallel. Inhale, sweep your fingertips to the sky. Staying long, exhale, hinge forward from the hips. Fingertips come down to that right leg. Soften, bow over the right leg. Draw your right hip back, left hip forward. Breathe. From here, root your left hand to your right leg somewhere. So maybe that's the shin, maybe it's the thigh. On your inhale, peel your right arm open. Exhaling, lowering that right arm down. So this is revolved triangle, which is a pretty tough place to be. Exhaling to lower. Inhaling to lift. And then exhaling down, bend both knees, step forward, forward fold, softening, relaxing. Come to stillness, bend both knees. Exhale, roll your way up. Inhale, rise and open. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Let's feel that on the other side. So we're going to step that right foot back so the left foot is forward. Bend your left knee. Notice what that does to the right leg, right? So start to adjust the angle of your right foot so it feels comfortable. Sinking nice and deeply into that left knee. Inhale, sweep your fingertips to the sky. Exhaling, sweeping down and away. Inhale and open. This time on your exhale, come to halfway. Left arm over, right arm under. Find your shoulders first. Lower your elbows, shoulders roll back and down, lowest point. On your inhale, lift the tips of your elbows. Exhaling, softening down. Inhaling to lift. And exhaling to soften. All right, if all is well, you're welcome to find eagle arms here. Same movement, lifting and then lowering. And depending on how you're feeling about your practice today, how your body's feeling, maybe we add even more movement. Inhaling, straightening that left knee. Exhaling, sinking down. Inhaling. And exhale. Last time, exhale, release both hands. Step your right foot in a little bit so that you can make your feet parallel. So again, setting up for pyramid pose here. Feet are both facing forward. Inhale, sweep your fingertips to the sky. Exhale, fold forward, bowing over your left leg. Draw your left hip back and your right hip forward, starting just by melting into this stretch. Now let's begin by rooting that right hand somewhere to that left leg. So maybe the shin, maybe the thigh. On your next inhale, peel your left arm open, moving toward revolve triangle. Exhaling, lowering down. Inhaling to lift. And exhale. And last time, on this exhale, we're gonna bend both knees, stepping together and then softening into forward fold. Again, movement is always welcome here. Take a moment to breathe. Roll your way all the way up to standing. Inhale, rise and open. Exhale, hands to heart center. Make your way all the way down to the mat. Time for the downward slide. While you're sitting down, I'm going to lower my camera. And come on down. So let's set up for our seated twist. From here, draw your left heel in. Plant your right foot out in front. So this is option A for seated twist. Option B, you can take your right foot to the outside of your left knee. Option C, you can straighten your left leg. So there are lots of different places to be in terms of your seated twist today. Wherever you happen to land, we're going to take that right hand all the way down to the mat behind us. Roll your shoulder back and down and press into your right hand to create length. Inhale, reach your left arm to the sky. Exhale, draw your elbow toward your knee, turning into that beautiful twist. And remember your yoga breathing here, right? Every inhale, we create length. Every exhale, we turn into that twist just a little bit more. and release. Sweep your hands all the way over to the left side. Plant your fingertips and bow your head. Let it go. And then roll your way all the way up to seated. Let's switch out the legs. So we bring that right heel in, left foot plants out in front. Option A, of course, stay exactly as you are. Option B, cross the left leg over. Option C, you can straighten your right leg. Just depends on what feels better in your body today. Once you've found your starting position, sweep your left hand down to the mat, roll your shoulder back and down, press into that hand, get tall, and then reach your right arm to the sky. Inhaling, we're gonna lift up and over and then exhale down, elbow to knee. Remembering every inhale, we get tall. Every exhale, we soften just a little more. And release. Sweep your hands all the way over to the right side. Bow your head, softening. And then come back to center. From here, we're gonna roll all the way down onto our backs. Draw your knees in, rock from side to side. Sometimes it can also feel nice to draw big circles with the knees, massaging the lower back and hips. And then come to stillness at the center. From here, let's open our arms out to either side. Make a nice big T on the earth. Drop your knees off to your right-hand side and turn your head to look to the left. Now, you can sustain exactly as you are, or you can find a gentle rocking motion with your head if you feel like turning your head all the way to the left causes neck tension. On your next inhale, draw your knees back to center. Exhale, drop your knees off to the left-hand side and turn your head to look to the right. And again, yogi's choice, keeping that head turned to the right or maybe finding that gentle rocking motion. On your next inhale, draw your knees back to center. And now if there is any additional movement, any stretch, anything at all that you would like to feel before we close for the day, take a moment to honor that request. So maybe it's an inversion or a twist or a fold, a little quality time and happy baby, whatever would feel really nice here. That's what goes in this space. And then as you are ready, begin to make your way into your Shavasana. Remembering that there are lots of options here, right? We can lie flat for classical Shavasana. We can have our heels wide, toes falling out to either side, shoulders are relaxed, palms facing the sky. In some bodies, this causes tension. It definitely does in mine. So if that's the case, you can bend your knees, bringing your feet the distance of the mat, and then let your knees fall together at the center. And that takes any sort of compression out of the lower back. You, of course, are also welcome to take supine goddess pose here, bringing the soles of your feet together. You could take child's pose or seated meditation. Pretty much any restful position is perfect. And then once you have found your position for Shavasana, draw your awareness to all the places where your body is touching the mat. And allow those points of connection to grow a little less distinct. Imagine them melting. Relax your jaw. Relax your eyes and your forehead. And simply let go and float. Allow your breath to create space within your body. And begin to find some little movements of your fingertips and your toes, just bringing you back to this day, to this time. Point your toes away, reach your arms up overhead, take a deep breath in, full body stretch. And then exhale, draw your knees into your chest and rock from side to side. Eventually find your way all the way over onto your right side and just curl into the posture of the sleeping child. Take a moment right here in this space that you have created for a few more deep breaths. Mentally preparing ourselves for the rest of the day. And then whenever you are ready and you feel your practice is complete, use your hands to help press yourself up to a nice, easy seated position. Bring your hands to heart center and close your eyes. We'll close our practice this morning with a round of Om Shanti Shanti Shanti, a prayer for peace. Inhale. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me this morning. Namaste. Thank you. Let me scoot forward and stop the recording. There we go.